Hi, Connor.
I,
Nice to see you today in Singapore. How are you?
Very good. Happy to be here.
I'd like to ask you some questions about the Enso. Can you tell me a little bit more? Like, what are you doing right now on crypto space?
So, big context, I'm Connor Howe, one of the co-founders of Enso. I've been building full-time in this ecosystem for the last 8 years. Enso, you can envision as an intent engine. So for a developer that's wanting to build applications on the blockchain ecosystem as of today, they're needing to build every single integration themselves manually one by one. Now, if you want to ship a product really quickly, this will take you 4, 5, 6 months to be able to launch this product. With Enso, we abstract all of this away for you, and you can simply plug and play and say, I want to offer lending, borrowing, swapping, LPs, and vaults for all these different protocols, and then you simply just call our infrastructure for this. We generate them all data and we give it back to you. One of the most interesting user stories that we've seen recently, a project called Unplug. It's a DeFi automation tool or no code drag and drop, so you can create all these different actions, combine them together, create particular triggers based upon market conditions. They were able to rebuild their whole product in a day and a half using Enso. Took them 7 months, not Enso, day and a half with Enso. So basically we're a toolkit that enables people to build apps very quickly.
Can you tell me a little bit more about no code? How does that work? Do you have any special interface?
Yeah, I mean, we are the engine underneath that enable people to build applications on top, right? So it's like the Unity, but for Web3, building applications. So their application on their interface, you're dragging and dropping, similar to Zapier within Web2, and you're selecting different actions to then bundle into one transaction itself. Now, that's just an example use case of somebody using Enso. We also have partners such as CowSwap, Li-Fi. We have around 40 plus different projects, and their tooling has enabled over 12, 13 billion in the last year.
So that means I can automate whatever I want. So for example, I have any collection, I want to sell it or buy, I want to do staking, restaking, withdraw, or whatever. So I don't need to team with the coders. I can just use the interface where it's like drag and drop option.
So we don't build the interface. We're just building the infrastructure. So let's say you're a wallet or you're whatever you are, and you want to offer DeFi or NFTs or even transfers. Without Enso, you would need to build those integrations yourself manually, pay for audit slots, understand solidity, and so forth. With Enso, you just come to our API and say, I want to lend, I want to borrow, I want to swap, I want to transfer, I want to do NFTs. And how people combine these many actions and Lego blocks is really up to them. So some people build this no-code drag and drop UI, some people build cross-chain aggregators, some people build DeFi super apps and so forth. So we're just the engine underneath that makes it easy to interact with blockchain itself.
It's like automation of a market. What do you think the potential of Intents? What we will see the next?
How we actually got to where we are with Enso, we pivoted 2 times our company. We started off as a social trading product where I could create a strategy, you could invest into this, and maybe I'm good at investing or good into DeFi yield, right? And I would take a percentage of the performance of your money and so forth, right? We launched that. We spent over $500,000 on audits for integrating only 13, 14 different DeFi protocols. Didn't really make sense. Then we rebuilt everything from scratch. Underneath is a DeFi super app where you're able to do one click to enter all of DeFi. So let's say, for example, you want to enter a beefy pool. A beefy pool may require an oracle, which may require a balancer pool, which may require 2, 3, 4 different tokens. That simple user journey of what a user already knew what they wanted, they had to go to 4 or 5 different interfaces and around 12, 13 different transactions. So Intents make this a lot easier for developers to build applications fast and also for users. So a user now can go to one interface, go to one product and access the whole ecosystem. It's a full abstraction layer. Think about it, it's like you go to Skyscanner, Google Flights, you don't care about refueling all the airline, the plane. You don't care about hiring all the individual people. You don't care about all the logistics of the flight coordinators. You just want to go from point A to point B. That's what an intent is. Abstracts away all of that knowledge of what's underneath. So the user can just focus on what they want to do.
Are you using any AI tools? How's your solver resolver work? Is it like manual work, or is automated, or is connected to any AI tools?
Truthfully, we don't use AI in our stack. Obviously, our developers, they've got ChatGPT open on half the screen all the time, right? It's very easy to code with AI. But underneath itself, we don't really use AI. Now we do have tools building on top of us that are using AI but leveraging Enso. So for example, one of these tools is called Brian Knows AI, not Brain Knows AI, Brian Knows AI. A user can go to their interface and type whatever they want. I want to swap 1 ETH into this. Underneath, they have a language model that's then calling Enso. So we do manual work of the integrations. We do some degree of detections of, let's say there's a fork of a protocol that we already support, then that will be automatically added. But it's not really AI. So we're just this engine that enable people to build tools.
What about the data analysis? Like, for example, an AML system or different analytics you use for this AI?
A lot. I mean,
It's like under the hood.
yeah. If you're running solvers like we are in CowSwap, you need to have full data analytics for every single transaction that you're doing, what other people are doing. And you've got this constant feedback loop of, hey, that's a new route that we didn't see that other people are doing. Hey, that's a new DEX. Or how are they optimizing on particular points? If you do some like real data analysis on the solvers, you'll see that some solvers are very good at particular gas limit ranges. It's like Copium Capital only plays within these 3 brackets, and there's like 10 brackets of the gas limits. Kind of got Enso over here, you got Furocombo over here and here. So people are very specialized in that, and that's because we do data. We analyze it. We don't use AI that much inside of it, but again, it's more manual work, but we create an automated process.
What is the potential of integration AI and intents, do you think? Like, if you take a look in the future, maybe in a few years or 5 years, what do you think? Can we delegate to AI to make a decision?
Yeah, I spoke at a conference, I think 1.5 years ago about this. We've got like explicit intent, semi-explicit, and non-explicit, and types of intents. Explicit is, I have A and I want B. I have USDC and I want to lend an ABI. That's explicit. Semi-explicit is, I have USDC and I want to lend my money on a market with a particular APY rate. So you create these like boundaries. Non-explicit is this more AI model of learning your past behavior of what you've done previously and how you would react in certain situations. So for example, I could see if you train a model that maybe USDC depegs again, that you would automatically leverage, right? You create these conditions and then it would act on your behalf. The extent of how much money you give this AI tool, I'm not too sure. So I do think AI will be used for people like automating a lot of their trades. I think AI will also be used for the integrations. So for example, instead of us building manual integrations, our network, we can open it up where anyone can add to this network. Now, that could be a person, or this could be a really, really good AI language, AI bot, they can parse every single smart contract and then add this to the Enso network itself. On the third side, do I see the text to speech and so forth of how users interact on chain with AI? Not really too sure. I don't think so. You know, think about it. How many times do you go in an application and do this text to action? You don't. You text and then you use an application self-directly.
There's a lot of people in the space right now building intents and talk about the intents. What do you think in the next few years will we see MAP, MAV, or the intents will solve this problem for the market?
One thing about the market of intents, a lot of it's bullshit, to be honest. And there's projects that have raised so much money that they haven't shipped anything in years. And I think this creates a really bad perception of the intents ecosystem because crypto works in a way of narratives, but there needs to be some tangibility. So we've actually created a community that will be coming out in the next couple of years. It's called PBP, Product Beats Paper. And this will show the intent. You can really build applications very, very quickly.
That's a good answer. Is there any potential of MEV to stay on the market, or intents will solve this problem?
I don't think MEV will ever be solved. You know, like block builders, if you go on Sorella Labs on the dashboard, they're printing like 6-7 mil profit per month, these block builders. It's public information. And that some degree is met, right? You're always going to have this opportunity for having an edge to make more money. You're always going to have it. Even in the financial district, we're in Singapore right now, Everyone's doing this.
But basically, the map is a problem of pools when we have a pairs. But if we talk intents, it's more about like RFQ and limit solver. So there is like a direct transaction. There is no map.
The challenge is, if I'm a solver and you want to go from A to B, I need to commit that I will get that for you. So sure, that's some degree not MEV, but then you go lower in the stack, you've got blog builders, you've got relayers. There's MEV also on that layer as well. So I think for users, intents give them better user experience and also the guarantee that they will get what they want. Where does this lead for solvers? Where does it lead for the resolvers, fillers, and so forth? It's a big risk to take on. You know, if you're doing a $10 million trade and you're off by, I don't know, 5K next block, you lose that 5K. You need to pay that back. So some solvers have started, but most haven't, of having like a probability analysis of what's going to happen in the next block. Listening to MEV pools, listening to all sexes, all dexes, every single trade. You basically have a whole world map view of every single interaction.
What is your next plans in Enso?
Launch the network.
How are you planning to win the market?
I mean, to be honest, we kind of already have to some degree. We're the first ever tool that enables you to build applications very quickly. We have products building on top of us without us even talking to them. Like, we have got a project coming out, it's called Glider.fi. It's another trading automation tool from the OGs of 0x, the guy that created, the designer that created Matcha, and the lead back-end developer that created Matcha as well. So people are starting to just build and use Enso because it makes their life easier. Now what happens when more competition comes around? We will offer a better product, right? People know us, we've got a good reputation, we've built 2 products previously, and the solution that we built was to solve our own problem, and we realized other people have it. So I don't think there's going to be a winner takes all to some degree, but I think we're already on that good path of kind of having most of the market using Enso.
Are you planning to enter the cross-chain competition?
No.
Why? The swaps are on the public resolving, so anyone can join us without any staking. You don't need to stake tokens. You can just join and start competition. And there are much more rewards than just a gas wars.
Yeah, I know. So I think like Enso is making it easier for people to build on chain. So we can add swaps and so forth underneath Enso. So for example, maybe a user wants to build a cross-chain application without integrating you directly. They could integrate Enso and get access to all of this, right? Do I see us going down the solving or resolving for cross-chain? No, I don't see that for now. I know there's a lot of money in it, like across, dBridge and so forth, and swaps, but right now we just want to abstract it away. So what we could do is we could just add you, right? We could add you underneath the Enso stack, then our users, our products, then get cross-chain to us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.